In the beginning, before the earth was shaped and the stars were flung into the vastness of the cosmos, there existed a realm that defied the boundaries of time and space as we know them. This realm was not one of chaos, but of divine order, a celestial tapestry woven with threads of light and purpose. Here, in this sacred expanse, resided beings of unimaginable power and wisdom, known to some as the sons of God. The sons of God were not mere figments of imagination or mythological constructs. They were the architects of creation, the guardians of the divine plan. Each one was imbued with a unique essence, a reflection of the Creator's will. They were the first to witness the unfurling of existence, standing at the precipice of creation, their hearts pulsating with the rhythm of the cosmos. In their presence, the very fabric of reality shimmered, resonating with the echoes of creation's song. Among them was a being of radiant light, known as Lumiel. He embodied wisdom and clarity, his thoughts flowing like a river of stars. Lumiel was the one who envisioned the potential of the universe, who saw the beauty in chaos and the order that could emerge from it. He gathered the other sons of God, igniting within them a fervor to bring forth life. Together, they contemplated the vast emptiness of the void, their minds weaving intricate designs of worlds yet to be born. Then there was Seraphil, a being of compassion and grace, whose heart beat in harmony with the pulse of the universe. Seraphil understood the delicate balance of creation, the necessity of joy and sorrow, light and in darkness. She envisioned a realm where beings could flourish, where love would bind them together in an eternal dance. Her voice, a gentle whisper, urged the others to consider the myriad forms life could take, each one a reflection of the Creator's infinite creativity. As the sons of God deliberated, they conjured images of vibrant landscapes teeming with life. They imagined mountains that kissed the sky, oceans that sang to the shores, and forests that breathed with the rhythm of the earth. They envisioned creatures of all shapes and sizes, from the smallest insect to the mightiest beast, each one a testament to the diversity of existence. And in their hearts, they felt the stirrings of a new creation, a world that would be a sanctuary for all living beings. Yet, amidst their fervor, a question lingered in the air. What would be the purpose of this new world? The sons of God understood that creation was not merely an act of will, it was a sacred responsibility. They knew that the beings they would create would possess free will, a gift that could lead to both enlightenment and despair. They pondered the implications of such a gift, the potential for love and unity, but also for division and strife. In the midst of this contemplation, a voice resonated through the celestial realm, deep and powerful. It was the voice of the Creator, echoing through the hearts of the sons of God. You shall create a world where beings may learn, grow, and choose their paths. They shall know joy and sorrow, love and loss, and in their choices, they will find their purpose. The words hung in the air, imbued with divine authority, and the sons of God felt a profound sense of clarity wash over them. With renewed determination, they set about their work. Lumiel, with his boundless vision, began to shape the cosmos. He called upon the elements, commanding fire, water, earth, and air to dance together in a cosmic ballet. Stars ignited, galaxies spun into being, and planets found their orbits, each one a testament to the harmonious interplay of creation. The universe blossomed, a magnificent expanse of color and light, a canvas awaiting the brushstrokes of life. Seraphil, inspired by Lumiel's vision, infused the worlds with life. She breathed into the soil, and from it sprang forth lush vegetation, vibrant flowers, and towering trees. She called forth animals, each one a manifestation of the Creator's imagination. Birds took to the skies, fish swam in the depths of the oceans, and mammals roamed the land, each one a note in the symphony of existence. With every creature, Seraphil wove a thread of connection, binding them together in an intricate web of life. As the worlds began to flourish, the sons of God gathered once more, their hearts swelling with pride and love for what they had created. Yet they knew that their work was not complete. They needed to create beings who could appreciate the beauty of their creation, who could experience the joys and sorrows of existence. Thus, they turned their attention to the creation of humanity. In a moment of divine inspiration, they shaped the first humans from the very dust of the earth, breathing life into them with their sacred essence. These beings were unlike any other. They were imbued with the spark of divinity, a reflection of the Creator's image. The sons of God watched as the first man and woman opened their eyes, filled with wonder and curiosity. They were the culmination of creation, the embodiment of love, and the bearers of free will. Yet, even in this moment of triumph, the sons of God understood the weight of their creation. They had given humanity a gift that came with great responsibility. The potential for love and unity was matched by the possibility of division and strife. They knew that the path ahead would not always be easy, but they held faith in the hearts of their creations. They believed that through their experiences, humanity would discover the true essence of existence. As the sons of God withdrew from the earthly realm, they left behind a legacy of hope and a tapestry of life. They understood that their role was not merely to create, but to guide, to watch over the beings they had brought into existence. Their presence lingered in the hearts of humanity, a whisper of divine love that would echo through the ages. Thus, the mystery of creation unfolded, revealing the intricate dance between the divine and the mortal. The sons of God, once celestial beings of light and purpose, became the guardians of a world filled with possibilities. They remained ever watchful, their hearts intertwined with the fate of humanity as the story of existence continued to unfold, a narrative woven with threads of love, choice, and the eternal quest for understanding. The divine plan before humanity, before the creation of Adam, the universe was already filled with celestial beings. Angels, archangels, and spiritual entities served God in perfect harmony, worshiping Him and carrying out His will. The heavens resounded with divine order, and the earth itself had been formed as a masterpiece of God's creation. Yet, amidst all this, God desired something more. Beings created in His own image, capable of reflecting His nature and engaging in a personal relationship with Him. Unlike angels who were created as servants and messengers, God wanted a new creation that would bear His likeness, capable of love, creativity, and free will. This new being would not only rule over the earth, but would also have the unique ability to commune with God as a child communes with a father. The creation of Adam, the first human. With this purpose in mind, God formed Adam from the dust of the ground and breathed into him the breath of life. Genesis chapter 2:7. This act was significant. Unlike any other creation, Adam was infused with a divine spark, setting him apart from all living things. He was not just a creature of instinct, but a being with intelligence, emotion, and the capacity to make moral decisions. God placed Adam in the Garden of Eden, a paradise designed for harmony and peace. In this garden, Adam had everything he needed: food, beauty, companionship with God, and meaningful work. His role was not merely to exist, but to tend and cultivate the earth, bringing order and stewardship to creation. Genesis chapter 2:15. He was to name the animals, exercise dominion over nature, and serve as a co-creator under God's authority. Yet, there was something missing. Adam, though surrounded by life, had no companion like himself. This was the first indication that God's purpose for humanity was not isolation, but relationship. The creation of Eve, humanity's completion. Seeing that Adam was alone, God asked him to fall into a deep sleep and created Eve from his rib, Genesis 2:21-22. This act was profound. Eve was not formed from the dust, as Adam was, but from Adam himself, symbolizing unity, partnership, and equality. The first human relationship was established, demonstrating that mankind was meant to live in love, companionship, and mutual purpose. Adam and Eve together reflected the fullness of God's image. They were given the ability to procreate, to create life just as God had created them. Their union was designed to mirror the relationship between God and His people, a covenant of love, trust, and faithfulness. Free will and the test of obedience. However, the most significant aspect of their creation was free will. Unlike the angels who were created as beings of service, Adam and Eve had the ability to choose whether to obey or disobey. God placed the tree of the knowledge of good and evil in the garden, giving them a single command: not to eat from it, Genesis 2:16-17. This was not a mere test of obedience, but an essential part of their purpose. Without the option to disobey, their love and devotion to God would not have been genuine. True love cannot exist without choice, and true worship cannot exist without free will. The tree represented their ability to trust God's wisdom or to seek their own understanding. The fall, the consequence of rebellion. Tragically, Adam and Eve chose to disobey. Tempted by the serpent, they ate from the forbidden tree, seeking knowledge apart from God. Genesis 3:6. With this act, sin entered the world, and humanity's perfect communion with God was broken. This was not just a loss of innocence, but a disruption of their original purpose. Instead of ruling creation in harmony with God, Adam and Eve were now subject to pain, toil, and death. They were expelled from the garden, forced to live in a fallen world where sin and suffering would reign. Yet, even in judgment, God's purpose for humanity was not abandoned. He promised that one day a descendant of Eve would crush the serpent's head, restoring what was lost. Genesis chapter 3:15. This was the first prophecy of redemption, the first glimpse of Jesus Christ, the second Adam, who would undo the curse of sin. Redemption, restoring the original purpose. Despite humanity's fall, God's ultimate plan remained unchanged. The purpose of Adam's creation was not just about ruling the earth, but about relationship, God's desire to dwell with his people. Through Jesus Christ, the second Adam, Romans chapter 5:12-19, humanity was given a way back to that original purpose. While Adam failed, Jesus succeeded. Where Adam brought death, Christ brought life. Through his sacrifice, mankind was offered a path to redemption, allowing them to fulfill their true purpose, to love and worship God freely. Just as Adam and Eve were meant to walk with him, believers today are invited into a relationship with him through faith in Christ. To rule with wisdom and stewardship, humans were created to govern the earth wisely, not exploit it. This principle remains true, calling people to care for creation responsibly, to reflect God's image. The purpose of humanity is to reflect God's character, his love, justice, and righteousness, both in personal life and in the world. To live in eternal communion with God, the ultimate fulfillment of Adam's purpose will come when believers are restored to perfect relationship with God in the new heaven and new earth. Revelation 21:3-4. Conclusion. The eternal purpose of humanity. The creation of Adam was not just the beginning of mankind, but the beginning of God's great story of love, choice, redemption, and restoration. Though Adam fell, his purpose was never lost. Through Christ, humanity is invited to return to its true calling, to live in communion with God, to love as he loves, and to fulfill the divine purpose for which they were created. Adam's story is our story, a journey from creation to fall, from fall to redemption, and from redemption to eternal life with God.